the reason that we wanted to start a farm was to be able to provide food for ourselves, safe, healthy food for ourselves. And then also, I visited Nepal. When we went to Nepal, everyone said, oh, this is all we know how to do, but we don't have any new ideas. And our chicken coops are mobile coops, so we will have them in one spot when they start killing the grass, or maybe even smelling a little bit. So within like about a month or even less, we'll move them to a new area.
How you guys met?
Used to live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Started working in a deli, and I went into the store. I usually get like a sandwich for lunch in that store. This girl's really cute. Let me talk to her.
Climbed Mount Everest in 2008. For that, it got like kind of addiction to climb the mountain. It's kind of like once you are in the adventure field.
At that time, I wasn't used to spicy food, so most of the food was too spicy for me.
He had the worst diarrhea from that.
Oh, damn. All right, we're gonna start. So welcome to RDM channel, guys, one more time. So you can see there, like, we have a really new set today, but this is not our permanent set. So we came all the way up to upstate New York, about 1.5 hours, 66 miles from city. So we are here in Himalayan farmhouse. As you know, like you have already seen in our thumbnail who our guests are today. So this couple has been up here for like 6-7 years now, doing their own thing here, running the farm. It's called Himalayan Farmhouse, and they also have been sponsoring us for our like last 2 episodes. Thank you so much. So we're gonna welcome Mr. Rob Sander and Nimdama Sherpa. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So how are you guys? Like, how you guys been doing? How's life?
We're doing good right now. We're very busy season.
Mm-hmm.
Like our crops has been all planted on the ground.
Oh, okay.
And now it's mostly like watering and weeding and protecting from the deer and other animals around the farm. But yeah, with the 2 toddlers and farm is pretty much pretty busy.
I know. Toddlers are really tough actually. So before we jump straight to the farm, I would like to know like something about Rob also. So how you guys met? How you guys like been together? Since you are from Nepal, he's from here, and then so how you guys been together actually? How do you guys know each other?
Okay, so I used to live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and she started working in a deli right around that area. And I went into the store. I usually get like a sandwich for lunch in that store. And she started working there, and I was like, oh, this girl's really cute. Let me talk to her. And yeah, we just started getting to know each other, and now we've been married for almost 6 years. 7 years, yeah. And we've been dating for, almost together for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see like the Max coming in. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful cat. Hi, Max. All right.
So
wow.
You want to be in the podcast too?
Oh wow. Okay. So you guys have a lot of pets too, right? Like you have like.
Yeah. So we have a lot of animals. So 2 cats, a dog. Those are the animals that are in our house on a daily basis. The cats help us with the just companionship and also rodent control. On a farm, you get a lot of mice. It's just something that's unavoidable. The dog is a livestock guardian animal, so it helps us protect our house, our family, and also our livestock. So our chickens and pigs and stuff like that. He'll sometimes be outside barking all night long. There's a lot of predators. And then on the farm, we do pigs. So we raise Berkshire pigs, purebred Berkshire pigs for the pork. This year we're doing 5. Every year it changes about how many we do. We're hoping to expand up to probably about like 20. We do meat chickens, we do turkeys, and then we do egg-laying chickens. I think by the end of this year we'll have about 300 egg-laying chickens. And then the meat chickens, maybe we'll do about 300 throughout the year. And then turkeys, just a handful. We also have rabbits. I always forget about the rabbits.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot of chickens, man. For this chicken, egg-laying chicken, like 300. Like how many eggs do you get every day?
So right now we're getting about 50 to 60 a day, which is 4 to 5 dozen, 5 to 6 dozen eggs a day. A lot of the eggs in that 300 number are new chickens that we just hatched from eggs this year. So in about 2 months, bad. In about 2 months, 2 or 3 months they'll start laying, and then we'll have a lot more.
Wow. Okay, you can talk. I know.
Really hard to fulfill our customer demand. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. We go crazy.
We sell out every day.
Every day we get sold out.
So how do you sell? Like you sell it to the store, or like how do you do it? Like people just come to you, or like how you do it?
Yeah. So we have a farm stand on the end of our property on the main road, and it's an honor system farm stand on Ruzagap and Pickles Road combination. And we sell out every single day. Honestly, if we had 100 dozen eggs a week, we would be able to sell that many, I think, no problem.
Wow.
So we're working towards trying to get to that capacity to where we would be able to have that many eggs to sell. Because, I mean, we sell out, and then I know that there's a lot of customers that are left looking for them, because we get people that message us on Instagram, Facebook, or text message me, and then they'll have us hold the eggs days in advance. So, eggs are doing really well for us.
So, can you just tell your, like if you want to, like you can just tell the address if somebody around here could like see the podcast and then come to see you and buy eggs,
Sure. So the first place for the podcast, what I would say is, look for us on Instagram and Facebook. It's the Himalayan Hillside Farm is what our farm is called. And then our address is 34 Pickles Road, and that's in Bloomingburg, New York, 12721. But first place I would look is social media is easiest to contact us. And again, that's the Himalayan Hillside Farm. Instagram or Facebook. Yeah,
so we are also going to put all the social media's link in our description. You guys can also check it out, their place from that link. So yeah, it's gonna be there. So coming back to your personal life, since like I know like you climbed Mount Everest, you have been climber when you were back in Nepal, and you were also like the youngest climber from the female, right? So just like tell us the experience, like what was those days, How did you actually choose to climb Mount Everest, or like do climbings and everything, and then now like you have like big transition from mountain to like farm and everything, So just tell us like some experience that you had from mountains.
So I climbed Mount Everest in 2008 with the 10 amazing all Nepali women team, and after before climbing. From my family members, like nobody is a climber, but my father and my brothers are trekking guides.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, but like in 2008, I got an opportunity to climb the Mount Everest, and after that it got like kind of addiction to climb the mountain. It's kind of like once you are in the adventure field, it's get into like glue you know.
Oh, yeah,
You
okay.
cannot go away from it.
Oh, okay.
So after Mount Everest, from the same team, like 7 of us from the same Everest team members, 7 of us, we decided to climb the highest mountain of 7 continents. And then we did that successfully. We conquered the highest mountain of 7 continents. And then in 2015 there was like a big earthquake in Nepal, right?
Yeah, I know.
And
yeah.
then I was volunteering at that time in my home district in Nepal.
Oh, where is that?
Dolakha.
Okay.
Dolakha, yeah. So I worked there with the United Nations All Food Program. I volunteered there in my home district, and after that, I was like, and then after that, I came to US in 2016, and then this is how we met. And then now I am a farmer from the mountain climber.
So, what was hardest part for you to like, let's say like climbing Mount Everest, climbing mountain is itself a really hard task, but like farming is not even a easy task also. It's very hard, like, because you gotta go out every day, you gotta take care of your things every day, you gotta do things every day, like just, so what is the like difference?
It's both. It has its own different challenges, because climbing mountain, like you said, it's not easy task. While climbing the Everest, it took us like 45 days. But before I climbed Mount Everest, I did the year of training, like really good hardcore training to be on the top of Mount Everest. So it does have a different challenges. Like right now as a farmer, is like a lot. Even though we put the crops on the ground, because we are growing organically as much as possible, so we are not using any pesticides or herbicides or any other chemical. So sometimes it's hard, like buck will get it, buck will eat it, and then the deer will commit, or it has its own challenge. This year, this spring is so bad. It's like raining the whole spring. So we did struggle a little bit to put our crop in the ground. So yeah, it's a both but different challenges. But we're trying to manage to put it together.
Yeah, the hardest part is honestly, there's tasks all day, every day, and hundreds that we probably will never even get to. It's the balance between work and family, making sure that at the end of the day we give enough time to the girls and not just focus on the farm, because seriously, both of us can work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still not get everything done. And even if we had employees, then we would just take on more tasks. So it's like, just finding that good balance of, okay, the farm took enough of our time. That's all we're going to do. We're not going to expand. And then that's the challenge, because it feels like every year we keep expanding, and we're like, okay. So at one point, enough has to be enough. Because otherwise we'll just... And the thing is that it's really something that we both want to do. So we want to be outside playing on the farm and taking care of the animals and in the gardens. But it's challenging to make sure that we save enough time for our own personal life. Going on vacation, going on hikes. Like some of those things are just like... It doesn't happen on a farm because... You have so many things. If we go away for a week, everything will die. Like it's not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's not like a normal job where, okay, someone will pick it up. Like no, you can't. Like.
Yeah, so. You must have to like take care of them as a baby. Like just go see them every day, take care of them every day, right? So, yeah. So you probably you didn't knew her like before. Like when you saw her first time in Delhi, you didn't know that like she was a climber, right? So how do you feel when you heard like she was like really famous and like really really amazing climber from Nepal? Like how did you feel that? How did you feel back then?
Sure. So, yeah, obviously I didn't know who she was. It was just, it's the city. There's how many millions of people in the city? I don't. So we were dating for over a month before she told me about even climbing Mount Everest.
Oh.
And we were just out on a date, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, I climbed Mount Everest." And my first reaction was like, "Yeah, me too. Like, who fucking says that? like who says that?" So I was like, "Okay, sure." So then I Googled her on my phone, and then like all her stuff, her ESPN page, her Wikipedia page. I was like, "Oh, you weren't joking." I was like, "Oh, it's super impressive, incredible." It's one of those things. I think most people in America, they think of it as the most difficult thing that you can ever do. I know in Nepal there's a lot of people that do tour guiding. Since marrying her, I've met I don't even countless amount of people that have climbed Mount Everest. But in the U.S., like it's almost unheard of. It's one of those things that you think like, you're a rocket scientist. You climb Mount Everest. It's an impossible task. So it was super impressive to even know that she did it. And then the next question is always, well, how many times have you done it? And it's like,
yes.
like once isn't
I
enough.
know,
Everyone always asks, like, oh, you only did it once? Like, yeah, once is enough. Like,
Exactly.
it's hard enough.
Yeah. So how tough? Like you guys been married for like how many years? Like you said 7 years.
6 years.
Six years, right? So
It's gonna be
how-
7 soon.
Yeah.
So how tough is your wife? I mean, because she's Nepali, and then like Nepali girls are like really tough to handle, and also like
Yeah.
on top of that, she's Sherpa. Sherpa girls are like even harder.
Yeah, so everyone always asks me, and especially in the farming community, our farm is always working. We're always working really hard on the farm, and they always ask us like, well, how do you have the time to do this? Where do you find the time? And it's just, well, my wife is a 7 summiter. She doesn't give me breaks. Like there is no time off. Like we don't sit around and watch TV. We're always working. We're always working our hardest, even on a day that it rains. And most people are like, "Oh, I'm just not working this day." It's like, no, we always have a lot of tasks to do. So I think she has that mindset, and I'm same mindset is, let's not waste the day. Let's get after it and really try and achieve stuff. So yeah, she doesn't give any time off. So if you come to our farm, you're gonna work.
No.
So
So how do you feel about him? Like in context of like the work and everything.
No, he is really hard. He's really hard worker that I need to tell him and appreciate. He is an amazing, honest, humble. If he wasn't, he is very super nice. Always very honest, right?
Right.
She's
But-
gonna tell about my temper though.
He has a pretty high temper sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing dad, amazing husband, and really hard worker. He work like if he can, he will work like 24 hours, almost like at least 12 hours a day.
Yeah. This time of year we're probably doing it's about 15 to 16 hours a day of, I mean, obviously we take breaks and time for the kids and stuff like that, but it's like, about 6 a.m. to 9 or 10 o'clock at night, we're putting in a lot of hours. So, yeah.
Also balancing in between we have 2 girls, so giving time to them and then farm and balancing like both family time and it's pretty tough, but like he will able to manage and give the time to the girls and hang out, have fun. In general, he is amazing husband and dad.
Nice to hear you guys. It's really nice to hear like when like couples like really work together on the same thing and then like make or create something really amazing. So it's very, very nice to hear you guys, like you guys are doing very good together. And so coming back to farm, what's it like? Do you guys think like you're gonna like expand this farm, or like because I think right now you guys have like a 10 acres of lands on the farm, right?
Sure. So on our property at Pickles Road, we have it's just under 10 acres. It's 9.98 acres. So we're right at that 10-acre mark. We do have like a yearly 5 and 10-year plan. Pretty soon, probably within the next few years, we're going to be maxing out our land, and then we're going to be looking to expand because every year our demand, our customer base keeps growing. So we are expanding our vegetable production to a place also upstate New York, into Pine Island, New York. And this year is going to be our first year. It is our first year working over there. And, you know, we're learning the area, the new challenges and stuff like that. It's a different style of farming. It's more tractor heavy farming where you use big implements and you do big production. You know, we're trying to grow a lot of Nepali style vegetables for Nepali grocery stores in Queens. We find that that's our real market. We're trying to cater towards Nepali people and grow fresh local vegetables for them that they're missing from their home country and they can't get it. Do you know the name of the grocery store that we're selling to? I know the guy's name is Kumar, but I don't know his grocery store name.
Yeah, the grocery store name is Food Bazaar.
You gotta speak into the mic.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I know, I can understand. Like when you don't do these things every day, like you just forget it. I know.
So most of our produce, whatever we grow on our farm, especially the Nepali produce, we are growing Dalle Khorsani, which is very hot pepper.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's really
and then the Barela is kind of like vegetables. And then those two crops are major on the farm right now. And also we grow without the chemicals or herbicide or pesticides. So we go very organically. So you know, Nepali has the demand like missing from their home country or home. So to bring that test, we are trying to grow as much as organically that we can, and we have like it's so hard to fill the demand, and which is a good problem to have.
Yeah. So every year we expand. Let's see, last year we did 2,000 dole plants, and that's the most we ever did before. And it's just not enough. So this year we're probably going to be around 12,000 plants, and we'll see how that does. And so that jump of 10,000 plants is a huge jump for us because we need the space to grow the seedlings, and we need the infrastructure, and that stuff all takes time and money, which is, you know, things that you can't rush. You know, you need to make sure that you do it right. And when she says organically as much as possible, we don't even use organic chemicals or anything like that. We don't believe that, you know, just because they say that chemical is safe. We try and do it 100% zero chemicals, nothing organic, non-organic. We don't use anything that's not organically labeled. And then what we try to do is no chemicals at all. And then sometimes there are some bugs that we'd use the OMRI listed organic stuff, but we don't like to do that, you know.
Yeah, we focus on more to quality than the quantity right now. And then that's what our customer likes about us.
That's really good actually. And so do you guys think like you guys are actually making enough from a farm, or like you guys have like any other job?
Money? Oh no. So just any business, the first 5 years you spend more money than you make, and especially on a farm, farmers don't make a lot of money, which is crazy because if we calculated how much money we make an hour, it's like $1 to $2 an hour. It's crazy. But we, you know, everything that we're doing outside is very expensive. But once you purchase the fencing or the trellising and stuff like that we need, then it's good for 20 years. So it's like right now we need so much inputs. So, you know, we usually spend a lot more money than we make. We're in a good situation that we're not relying on the farm to provide for our families, but also the farm provides fresh, healthy food for us. That's why we started the farm. It wasn't about making money. We just weren't sure if we could trust what was going into the grocery stores. And then also, we both eat meat, so we wanted to make sure that the animals that we're eating are raised right and treated properly and given the respect that they deserve. And then at the end of the day, we're able to eat that fresh, healthy food for ourselves. And then whatever we have left over, then we would sell to try and cover the costs and stuff like that. So, yeah, money is no, yeah, farm doesn't make
farm
much
really
money.
doesn't make money. It's like farm give us a lot of joys and satisfaction and whatever we put on the ground, and when it grows, like it makes us so excitement and happy. But also we are the starter farmer. It's been like only 2-3 years we've been like doing it, right?
Well, trying to professionally and trying to, really make a business out of it.
Right.
So we started the farm business during COVID. So 2019 is I guess like when we actually started the business, but we only had the raised beds that you helped us build. And then every year we keep expanding and expanding. I think actual farmed land on this property is close to 2 acres now. And that's not including the space for the pigs and the chickens. If we add that stuff in, we're probably around more like 4, because we let our chickens free range and we move them around the property. So we're about 4 acres farmed on our property, and we're looking to expand into like goats and stuff like that. So
Yeah. So the word, like when you hear the farm, it sounds easy, right? Like farm, like everybody can do it. But like when you are really into the farm, it's so expensive. Like all the infrastructure to put on the farm and to raise the animals, and it's very expensive. And then the income is not not big profitable or anything, but it's more the satisfaction that we get from doing it and making our customer happy right now. And also we are not a big farm, we are a small farm, so we are expanding or putting it together little by little. So hopefully we will get one day there, but more importantly, we are also focusing on quality.
yeah, so what she's talking about is we need the scale. If we're only selling 24 eggs a day, it's going to be impossible for us to actually make a profit. So we need the scale, which is what we're working towards. But in order to have our egg customers, we sell a lot of eggs. We sell out every single week. And so which is great because it stays fresh, and the egg quality is really high. But in order for us to meet the demand that we have, we need to spend like $60,000 to build a barn for the chickens. So when you calculate, okay, we just spent $60,000 on a barn, it's going to take 3 years to pay that barn off. So to make a profit, but we're trending the right direction, and probably in the next 2 to 3 years we'll actually be profitable, pay off all of our infrastructure, and then actually start seeing money. But this is what every small business goes through, is like, hey, listen, the equipment is expensive.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. You don't just hit the ground running and next thing you know you're making $1 million a year. That's not how it works. So right now, like I said, the biggest challenges that we're facing is just making sure that we are, staying in the right direction, working towards our goals. And I would say in the next 2 years, we'll be profitable.
Yeah, like I know like it takes long time to like get the profit from the business that you actually started. And so regarding like all the expenses and everything, do you guys also get like a help from like people, or like you hire somebody, or like how do you do, guys? Because like taking care of like farms is a lot of work, so do you guys like hire somebody sometime, or like just do everything by your own?
For the most part, it's the 3 of us. So her mother is also staying with us, and she's a huge help. We do pay her a little bit for farm work and for babysitting, and she's a really big help for us. But it's mostly just the two of us. Every once in a while, we will hire like part-time workers, or some of my friends or family will come over if I have a big project and I need a hand. But I would say for the most part, it's mostly just us, and that's another reason why it's going to take time. Honestly, because it's not so profitable, it's hard to pay someone even $15 an hour, which is minimum wage, pay them that and then still be able to afford the chicken food, and you know what I mean? Because so it's, especially in the spring we don't really make that much money. We just spend a lot of money, and then in the summer when our vegetables come in, then we start making money in the summer and the fall. So to be able to have a worker that's like, hey, work a lot of hours now and I'll pay you in 2 months, is like, it's not possible.
What do you guys do in winter? I mean, like probably like it's like a lot of snow here. So like how do you like take care of the farm in the winter? Like let's say you're not growing anything in winter, right? Like it's just snow there, right?
Yeah, so we don't do too much vegetables. We do have a high tunnel now, which is it's the technical term for the type of greenhouse that we have. So we could potentially do some winter greens and stuff like that. In the winter, we usually are done around November, picking our last vegetables, depending on when the last frost date is. October, November, around there. We send our pigs out to the butcher, and we typically, the only projects that we want to have in the winter is keeping our egg laying chickens alive, and that's not too terrible. Just make sure that they have food and water. And then in the wintertime, usually what we do is we work on the house and spend more time with family, spend a lot of time on firewood and stuff like that.
Yeah, winter is the season that we got to rest.
Rest, right? Okay.
Rest or go to vacation or
We get
travel.
yeah, we get nice and fat for spring.
Save energy for summer.
So by saying traveling, so you to grow up to Nepal?
Yes, I did actually in 2019. Yeah, I took him in Nepal and he really liked it, and his favorite part of Nepal is my farm village.
Oh, okay. So you took him to your farm village back in Nepal, like with Doka, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
How was it? Like, what did you find difference? Like, how was the village?
Yeah, so the village was amazing. Everyone was so generous, and just the views of the Himalayan mountains, and just it was almost like stepping back in time, because there was no power. There was, most of the houses were dirt floor. They're cooking by fire, and you think like, oh wow, these poor people, because they don't have all the technology that we have in the U.S., the facilities and stuff like that. But in general, it was amazing, because they work as a community, they live as a community. Everyone looks after each other. They help plant the crops together. They help harvest the crops together. So it was really amazing. At that time, we were living in the city, and in the city, most people are not willing to help other people. Most of the time, you don't even know who your neighbors are. And so it was really amazing to see it. And that is one of the reasons why we decided to start our farm. And one of our goals, one of our objectives on the farm is not so much to make money, but to be able to get Nepali workers to come over to our farm, learn new techniques of farming, and then be able to send them back in the fall with, pretty large sum of money. So that way, if they made $20,000 working on our farm, that's, 3 or 4 years worth of wages in Nepal in one summer. And that's one of the major goals that we're working towards on the farm. And, obviously the first step is to be profitable, so that way we can pay people. Right. But, it's all in time. We'll get there for sure.
So what was the best part of Nepal that you liked, actually? Let's say maybe like the view, or like people, food, So what was the like thing that like you really thought like, oh, this is really nice?
Yeah, so we were there for a month.
Yeah.
And we mostly stayed in the capital, Kathmandu, in Kapan region.
Yeah.
That I like that area. That was really nice. We actually just built a house over there
Oh,
a
you guys
couple
got a
years
house
ago.
over there too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Her family lives in it now, and whenever we visit, then we'll have a place to stay too. But that area was really nice. The people were all very nice. Very friendly.
What about the food? Yes. Food.
Yeah. Food was really good. At that time, I wasn't used to spicy food, so most of the food was too spicy for me.
Oh, okay. So what about now?
So yeah, now I'm definitely getting a little bit better at it. So now I like when I'm eating Nepali food, I want it to be a little bit spicy. I can't eat it at the same level as most people. I'm not eating the peppers straight, but yeah. So now it's much better.
You seen like Nepali people eating pepper straight away?
Oh yeah. So because we grow the spicy peppers, we'll have people over for dinner and they'll be like sweating and red, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And they're like, "Yes, it's really good, really spicy." I'm like, "That looks painful. That's not like." But
that looks torture, right?
yeah, it's like torture. So, but she makes a really good hot sauce with the dole peppers, and I can put a little bit on my food, and it has an amazing flavor. So, that's another one of our goals is to be able to get the hot sauce and put it on the shelves. There are a lot of steps you have to do in this country before you can just put the product out for the general public. So we're working with the USDA and all the regulatory agencies to be able to make a hot sauce. But yeah, the food, since I wasn't able to eat much spicy, became very a little bit boring for me. Rice, lentils, vegetables, like every day. In America, we have so many different options. So I've been spoiled by like varieties of food and stuff like that.
I know, but American foods are. I enjoy American food. I enjoy.
But yeah, there's just so many varieties, right? I mean, like you can have like pizza, Chinese food, so we don't really repeat a lot of food. So it's like in Nepal every day, rice and lentils, there's like the Dalba Power 24 hours. They were serious about that. It's like rice and lentils every day.
So I need to share this one experience. So when we were in Nepal, so because at home we don't have an oven, right? In the city in Nepal, I mean, some people might have now, but we don't have it.
Yeah.
So we are.
It's not usual actually. It's not
exactly.
Usual,
yeah. So we are cooking every day. The rice and lentil and curry, or there is a rice always, but we will like different curry, best curry or meat curry. And then I thought, this poor guy, maybe I will take him to fancy pizza restaurant,
Oh, okay.
And then I took him to the Tamil very famous pizza place, Fire.
I know that place too. Yeah.
And then he had the worst diarrhea from that.
Oh, damn.
So first, the pizza was very delicious, and it was.
You like that pizza?
Yeah, it was good. After a while of not having it, it was really good. But then we walked around and we were doing some some shopping, and then it was just felt like someone kicked me in my stomach, and we were run to the bathroom as fast as possible. I think it was just the type of cheese or maybe eating at her family's house. They were very cautious of making sure that I didn't get sick, so they boiled all the cups and they sterilized it. And I think maybe that was just the case of listen, my stomach is not used to the same bacteria that is over there. It's probably a similar situation when people come to this country. But the food was really good. It's just afterwards didn't like it too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next time we'll just get our own oven, make our own pizza.
So I know you've been facing this. You might be facing this a lot, but so when you go to someone's house, whenever Nims get invited to her friends or families, they must be talking in Nepali. Everybody must be talking in Nepali. You might be only one, the white guy, So do you like feel really awkward like when they just talk in Nepali all the time? Like whenever whenever you have to talk to them, you just have to go in, like, and then do you guys? How do you feel on that time?
So at first it was a little bit awkward because you want to be involved in the conversation and stuff like that. I do understand quite a bit of it, especially with her mom being here. We kind of she'll be able to talk to it. Maybe I won't be able to respond in perfect grammatically correct Nepali, but so it's kind of that. But honestly, sometimes it's okay because I can just check out and be like, whatever they're talking in Nepali is, even though I'll hear my name, I'm like, I don't know what they're saying. So I'm just like, I'll be able to scroll on my phone and just ignore them and be like, yeah, that's fine. And then when they speak English, and it's like, oh yeah, sure,
So did that benefit you a lot, or like, you just want to know like what they're talking about me,
Nah, I don't care. I mean, I'm secure enough in myself. If they're talking about me, go ahead, go for it. I don't care. Like, I know it, even if it's something bad, it's probably true. My wife complaining about something I did. Or, he left his dishes over here. I don't care. It's fine. But no, I think for the most part, it hasn't been bad. Honestly, I need to make this winter, we're going to be working less on the house. So I'll be taking more of like online classes to learn the language a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But I feel like then that opens the gate of now I understand it, I can speak it, and now I have to be engaged in all the parties and instead of just like, whatever, you guys do your own thing.
But I think like even like when we invited you, like I have a lot of Nepali friends come over, and I think you do pretty good like to like get engaged with like people around. So coming back to house, I mean like not coming back, but like you just like said about the house, like you actually did everything in this house, right? You actually like did everything from the scratch, right? Not like the whole house, but like interior.
Yeah, so when we purchased the property in 2019, it was abandoned for about 10 years. And the previous owner lived here well into his 90s, so it just wasn't kept up with for a long time. So we bought the house because we really liked the property and the location. We actually there's an apple tree outside that when we first came to see the house, we sat under the tree and we just looked and listened, and we saw the land, and we decided that this was a good choice before we even saw the house. And I told her, it's like, no matter what we see when we go inside, I can change it. And we've literally done that. There isn't a square inch in this house that we haven't changed. Because it was abandoned, the roof was leaking, the animals had moved in. So we brought it back to the studs, all new windows, all new doors, all new sheetrock, all new insulation, electrical, plumbing. Everything is brand new. But the original part of the house was built in the 1800s, early 1800s, I think 1810.
Oh, wow, that's pretty old, huh?
And then the addition that we're in right now was built in the 70s, the early 70s, 1970s. So the house is quite old, but now with the renovation that we've done, maybe it'll last another 100 years. Who knows?
Wow.
At least as long as we stay here, it'll be in good shape.
How, like, for me, like, if I have to do this thing, I have to go somewhere to learn how to do all these things. And how did you manage to do it? Like, were you like building the house before, like?
So,
how do you know all this?
Yeah, before farming, my family has been in construction for a long time.
Oh, okay.
So I was an iron worker, union iron worker for Local 197, and we build cranes and skyscrapers in Manhattan. So a lot of my family members, my brother, my dad, uncles, all kinds of people in the union. So I had a construction background, but a lot of the stuff I had to learn how to do it while doing the house. My cousin's an electrician, so he taught me how to do electrical work. And then I had some friends that were plumbers, so they showed me how to do certain stuff. So as much as I'd love to say that I did it all by myself, I didn't. Obviously, there's some projects that it's like I needed extra people for the sheetrock. If I did it myself, it would take me 3 months, and I didn't have 3 months. So it's like, hire a bunch of people with me working and it takes 2 days. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I just learned YouTube is great. There's so much information on YouTube. So yeah, do a lot of research and then just learn how to do it. There's plenty of things that I've done that once I can, I'm going to come back and fix it because I'm more talented and more skilled now than when I did it. So it's just it's going to be a complete cycle. And then also kids and people keep breaking stuff. So it's like,
Alright. Yeah.
but it's fine.
I know, like you don't want to like do something in a house by yourself because of the like protection, maybe like there's a lot of things in the house. I guess like there, you want to use a professional to do it, so that is better, right? So we can understand that. So how do you feel, Nim, about like building your own house, designing your own thing, and like putting it in every part of the house by yourself? How do you feel about that?
It's kind of like dream comes true. I think like I think everybody has a dream like to build your own house or
Yeah.
So every time he is such a good good ideas, and then everything we share and share the ideas and figure out together. So yeah, it is amazing, and he did amazing work fixing this house and putting everything in it. Yeah.
That's good. And how long did it take to like do everything?
Oh yeah, we're still not done. Having the kids definitely takes a lot of time away from what you're possible to do, because I'll be working and then it's like nap time, so I can't make noise, and and then we've lived in the house the entire time, so renovation is still going on from purchase time of 2019, but also at the same time. In the summer, we focus more on the farm, and then in the winter, I get about like 1 or 2 months to work on the house, and then back to working on the farm. But I think by the end of this year, right? I mean, we're going to be pretty close to inside the house done, and then a lot of landscaping projects that we want to do outside the house to boost the curb appeal.
Yeah,
in
I think
the
right
farm.
now 90% of our house is done.
Yeah,
Now
and it's a over 4,000 square foot house, so
Yeah.
it's
It's
been
it's a huge house actually.
huge
right?
house.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
literally the size of 2 houses. We never wanted a house this big ever. Like we said, we bought this house because we really like the land. We're about an hour and 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge, so it's like the location is really nice. My family lives in this area. I grew up in this area, actually right down the road, which was surprising. One of our first dates is we went to Sam's Point, which is like 10 minutes. Yeah, 10,
Yeah, it's like
15
10
minutes.
minutes, 10 minutes away from here,
Yeah,
right?
10,
Yeah.
15 minutes away. So we really love the area. And, even back then, before the housing market went crazy during COVID, it was difficult to find what we were looking for, because we wanted to be in a good school district, which this is Pine Bush School District, which is a very good school. Be in a good school district with pretty much no neighbors, enough land to do farming, and close to the city for a good price. Even back then, it was so hard to find it. So too big of a house is okay. It just costs us more money to heat and cool it is the
and
thing.
fixing it.
Yeah, and
Oh,
fixing
yeah, so,
it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
as I seen, like we have like a big chimney over here. So you
Yeah.
you heat up your house from this?
Yeah,
The whole
so the
house?
fireplace, actually, this fireplace heats up most of the house.
Wow.
Definitely downstairs. We source the firewood from either our own property is where most of it is coming from, but we don't want to cut down too many of the trees. Right now, we've been mostly doing ash trees, which are dead trees from the ash borer beetle killed a lot of trees. And then I have some friends they do tree services, so they sell us loads of firewood for pretty cheap, and then we do that. But that's pretty much the main source of heat. But we do have baseboard heat and mini split systems. But this is nice because even if the power goes out, at least we're not going to freeze.
Exactly.
So
right.
it's really nice. And then we love having it for just the vibes, right? The feel of it.
This is my one of the favorite part in the winter, so that we can sit around and get like nice and warm fire. Yeah.
It's pretty huge actually, right? It's pretty huge.
Yeah, it's the biggest fireplace insert that they made at the time because the actual fireplace is very big. And
Oh, so you actually did this new as well?
yes,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that's new. The stone is new. The brick chimney was there already, but we put a metal liner inside it to make sure that it wasn't like leaking smoke into the house. And so yeah, everything in this house is new.
Nice, man.
Even if it's not new, we like refinished it, or you know, like the floors on this room are the original floors, and so we like sanded them and stained them, and so we did a complete renovation, and I can't wait to be done.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful house you guys got actually, and it's really nice to see you like doing all these things by yourself and like putting everything together, and yeah. So coming back to the farm, so can you just like tell us like a little bit like more about like animals and everything before we just finish? We just wrapped up this episode. Like let's say how many like pigs you got now, like how many chickens and everything.
So right now we have 5 Berkshire pigs, which is also called. It's really famous in Nepali. It's called Darane Kalobangur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we have right now we have like 150 chicks we hatched from our own egg this year, and we have like around 100, little bit over 100 egg-laying chickens and 2 rabbits. We have 2 cats, 1 dog. We have a turkey. What else?
Yeah, so then we also do the
Meat bird.
The meat birds.
The meat chickens.
yeah
It's
meat
one of your
chickens.
favorite too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then realistically the future plans are going to be, we want to have goats for meat. I don't think we're going to do milk goats. So we're going to work towards that. And then also the pigs are one of my favorite things on the farm. They just have so much personality. They're so much fun to play with. And then they provide a lot of meat in a short period of time. So they're business wise, it's a very good animal to have on the farm. And so we're going to eventually get into breeding the pigs and having our own space for them. So
about like pig, how do you do harvesting? Do you give it to the professional or like how do you do it?
So for pigs and for cows to legally be able to sell it, it needs to go to a USDA butcher. So we send it out to a butcher and then they give it back to us frozen. So sausages, bacon, ham, anything smoked, everything comes back packaged from the USDA butcher. Chickens, we were butchering chickens on our own, but it's quite a bit of work and
Mess.
creates a big mess on the farm. And with such little kids, it's just a biohazard. Like, I don't want to get our kids sick.
Yeah.
So we send them out to a butcher also at this point, because we have a very high demand for our meat chickens too. I mean, that's the best chickens that I've ever had, and everyone that tries it, they're like, can I have more? And it's like, we just can't grow enough of them. And again, like she said before, it's such a good problem to have, because I think most businesses would be like, if we had more, we would sell more. They would feel like they're in a good spot. And that's kind of where we're at now. We're working towards scaling it up and making sure that we don't lose quality while we do that. And that's the hard part. We could do it as cheap as possible and just get them out there, and then our quality is terrible. We don't want to do that, because at the end of the day, we're doing this for our own personal use first.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to have something out there that we wouldn't want to eat. So it's like,
that's right.
we don't want to compromise our integrity or our quality just to make money. That's not what's important to us. Was that you, Max?
Yeah, he has been like being in our podcast.
Yeah, our egg-laying chickens right now, we do a free ranges, so they go everywhere and they scratches everything and
poop on everything.
Yeah, poop on everything. It's the bugs.
I'm sorry, Nim. Like, can you explain more about the free range?
So actually what we do is pasture raised, free range. All of our chicken coops are mobile coops. So we will have them in one spot when they start killing the grass, or maybe even smelling a little bit. So within like about a month or even less, we'll move them to a new area, new grass, new bugs, new everything. Let that old area rest for probably 2 or 3 months before we even think about bringing them back over there. And that keeps the eggs really fresh and healthy, but also the chickens healthy, the land healthy. We don't want to do anything where it's actually, instead of it's destroying our land. We don't want to do that. We want to be here for a long time. So we're, the stewards of our land. We want to make sure that we take care of the animals, the land, and then it will provide for us. So the egg-laying chickens free range means that they have access to outside and they can run around outside. What we have is pasture raised, and we move our coops all throughout the year, even in the wintertime.
Oh, wow.
We move them around our property. In the wintertime, we do keep them a little bit stationary because we have a source of water that never freezes. So we keep them close to that, so that way they always have fresh water. And then in the summertime, they're moving all over our property. And then we just have the electric fences that keeps them safe at night. But other than that, they're outside right now, running around everywhere.
Yeah, I saw on the way coming in. Right?
Yeah,
they're everywhere on the
everywhere.
road.
And that's fine because, for us, it feels good that they're out there living their best lives. And it's just like, cool, go do your thing. I mean, it does create a little bit of challenges for us, but it feels good.
So what about the predators? Like when you leave them alone outside,
Yeah, so we have tons of predators, right? So we can just down the list: foxes, huge predators. Hawks are another big predators. And we've lost chickens to the neighbors' dogs, predators, fisher cats, raccoons, coyotes, bears. I mean, there's so many different predators out there. And our number one defense is our dog, a livestock guardian dog.
What's his name?
It's a Link. Maybe you got some footage of him. He's outside right now. Link is a dog that we got from an animal shelter as a puppy, and just the breed that he is. It's a Great Pyrenees Border Collie mix. And he's, most of the stuff we didn't even train him to do it. He's just naturally does it. When there's hawks in the sky, he barks at them and chases them away.
Oh, wow.
There's some nights where he's barking all night long because he's chasing predators away from our farm. And we kind of get used to it. And so far, none of our neighbors have complained to us about it. But, he does a really good job for us. And the second thing is, like I said, we have the electric fencing. So, if for some reason he's sleeping and a predator tries to go over to him, they're going to get shocked from the electric fence. If the electric fence doesn't work, then our coops, the chicken coops that we keep the animals in, are as predator proof as possible. Obviously, if a big, couple 100-pound bear wants to get in there, they're going to get in. But we haven't had that problem yet. And so we just try and do what we can. And, we have lost animals before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they're out during the daytime. If a hawk comes down and gets one.
Yeah. Our fox sneaks out. And we have a fox living right in the corner. They have a fox den and...
There's a couple of fox dens on our property, and we tend to leave them alone because we didn't come to the farm to kill animals unnecessarily. We leave them alone because they do take care of other problems on our farm, chipmunks and squirrels and other animals that can be a nuisance to us. So we leave the foxes alone. We know where they live. We see them all the time, but they generally stay in the woods, and we stay on our farm. So we want to cohabitate the spaces. But if we do have a fox that is constantly picking off our chickens, then we would address that. But so far it hasn't been it hasn't been too much of an issue for us. But there is definitely a couple times where it's like, okay, well, we lost a couple chickens, and it's like, well, I mean, I guess that's
Yeah.
part
right.
of it's part of it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just fix the problem, and hopefully it won't happen again. I mean, everybody's just trying to survive, the foxes too. So
Exactly. So.
yeah.
So you guys have any plan going back Nepal again?
Yes, so maybe because in the summer we cannot travel because of farm and very busy taking care of the crops, and so winter might be the option for us. And then maybe this winter, or if not this winter, because now our youngest girl is 8 month old.
Oh wow, it's
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, so maybe when she gets a year or so that we will travel, that makes us easier. Now she is a little bit fragile. Hard to travel, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think that plane ride is so long, it'd be
Yeah,
difficult for
yeah.
her to just make that trip. We did have plans to go back 2020, something like that, and then COVID kind of ruined those plans.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
And then after that, we started having kids, so it was, you know, always that, okay, this year, and it's just been snowballing. But yeah, the plan is to get back there as soon as possible, and just take some time off, refresh.
Yeah, from the farm.
Yeah, but we have chickens all year round too, so we have to hire a babysitter for the dogs and
Babysitter,
chickens and
yeah.
rabbits and all the animals
Yeah.
we have.
So I really wanted to ask you like what you have to tell for the people who really wants to like do a farming, you know, like want to get into this. I would not I don't know like if I have to say it, a business or like, you know, or a hobby or anything, you know. There's like tons of people who actually wants to go to the countryside and then do farming, do like small farm by their own.
To answer your question, what I would tell people is you know, what's your motivation? Why do you want to get into it? Because there's plenty of challenges on a farm, and one of the things that you're going to deal with is loss. This year, the spring has been very cold and wet, and so we've lost lots of plants, lots of vegetables, lots of chickens, you know. So if your motivation to do farming is like, oh, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to make a lot of money, you're not going to like it at all. You know, we do it because this is what we love to do. We're in a fortunate situation to where we can do this and not have to rely on it for money. So I would just say the first thing is, why do you want to get into agriculture? Why do you want to get into farming? And if your first response isn't because this is what I love to do, you're not going to like it. You're not going to survive. So it really has to be something that you love to do, because if you're trying to make money, you'll make more money at McDonald's than on farming. So obviously there's ways to succeed and make money on it, but there's a lot of challenges that, you know, some days even us, we're like, why are we doing this? This is crazy, you know, and it all comes down to like, this is what we, on our free time, this is what we would do. So the reason that we wanted to start a farm was to be able to provide food for ourselves,
Yeah.
safe, healthy food for ourselves. And then also, when I visited Nepal, when we went to Nepal, everyone said, oh, you know, this is all we know how to do, but we don't have any new ideas. And it's like, okay, well, let me get back to America and try and figure some stuff out, and then have the workers come and stuff like that. That was kind of our original idea. Yeah, so I think another thing is, you know, obviously we wanted to have kids, and I feel like this environment is a great environment to raise kids, and it's just like a really good family environment for us. It teaches them about hard work, responsibility, about loss. You know, things aren't always perfect in life, and to have those skills to deal with, you know, sometimes things not going the way that you want them to go is important to learn early on, because I know a lot of people that haven't learned that, and now they're adults and they're just like, they don't know how to deal with it. And it's so we felt like a farm was just a great environment to live, and then also raise a family. So
Yeah, and most importantly, we get the fresh food, like the food, like what we grow and what we put on it, and we know like how good or healthy food is, like like we are getting from every day.
yeah, in the summertime, our grocery bill is like $100 a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is
So
because we're
$100 a month, you
a
said?
month. Yeah, because we're not buying much from the grocery store. We're buying like milk, all vegetables, all the meat, all the like eggs. Pretty much dairy is the only thing, and a lot of times we get that from another farmer too. So like actual stuff from the grocery store is sometimes it's like bread, milk, yogurt.
Yeah.
That's it,
Yeah.
Wow.
So, even though it might not make us a lot of money, it saves us a lot of money too.
Yeah, yeah. And then another thing is like these days, I think especially like I think like food system is kind of like like you don't know what they put it, like very heavy pesticides and herbicides. So you don't get exact what you grow on
All
your
the preservatives and food dye that's in so much food, and so so that's kind of pretty much we just I don't know, we were having fun. We had a garden in the city and we were having fun doing it, and it's like
So you have a bigger garden now, right?
Yeah, yeah. He used to have it when he's in a city, like right one
So
bed.
where in the city you lived?
Yeah, so I lived in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and I had a pretty big garden on my rooftop, and I think it was like 200 or 300 plants. And at that time, that felt
on
like
the rooftop.
Yeah, on the rooftop, and at that time that took up the whole roof, and it felt like we had so many plants, and it was just like amazing. And then when we brought them here to our farm, it was like nothing. I think this year on our farm we're closer to 10,000 plants, and then we're going to be growing, I think 60,000 out in Pine Island. So yeah, we're gonna from 200 to 300, which I thought was a lot, to now maybe 80,000 plants. So yeah, we've scaled up quite a bit since then.
Yeah.
So at the end, do you guys have anything that I missed to ask, or like you guys want to share something at the end? Is there anything that you'd like to say, like anything like? Is there anything? I think you guys actually cover most of the part.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, living countryside is, like when I was in a city, like I have like, that's like hustle, like energy, and you need to go through all kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's rush,
and now, like it's been a year since living in the countryside and having like peaceful and moving on my own face, or being, being my own boss is like I think it's very peaceful and a healthy lifestyle, and joy getting from the farm.
Like slow pace life.
Yeah.
Well,
more relaxing.
Yeah,
I guess.
don't know about slow pace. It's more about just like you get burnt out from being in the city, being around so many people, and it's not just about people, but just people who just don't care about you at all. You're just in their way kind of situation, and so around here the people are a lot nicer, and then the actual farm life of being outside is just a healthier lifestyle and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just saw your neighbor just dropping off the donuts, which is actually doesn't happen back in the city.
No.
This doesn't happen.
Yeah, so we've built a pretty strong community, and it goes both ways. When we'll get stuff and we'll just bring it to them, and so people are a lot nicer up here, and we appreciate that. But just the fresh air if I wanted to go outside naked, I could, because there's no neighbors to tell me not to, and they wouldn't be like, oh, look at this crazy guy. They'd be like, oh, okay, he's outside, like, don't get any bug bites.
Would you go naked?
Yeah. But yeah, so the living in the countryside for sure, and we get a lot of feedback from people that come up from the city, and a lot of people always say, oh, I feel like I'm in Nepal, or this is my dream, or something like that. So we have to remind ourselves sometimes when we're having a bad day, we're living a lot of people's dream life.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's something that we need to stay focused on, because no matter what your life is, you're going to face challenges and how,
overwhelmed.
get overwhelmed with the amount of tasks you have. And like the baby has a fever and we didn't sleep. And next thing you know, we're just like exhausted, and we're like, you have to take a step back and just be like, okay, well, things aren't so bad. Just relax. And, but yeah, so it's been fun.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Neem. Thank you, Rob, for letting us in here in Himalayan Farmhouse, giving us such an amazing time talking to us about your farm, your life, and everything. So we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you.
And thanks for having us.
Having us.
I guess the last thing is, if people like the interview and the show, follow us on social media, because we do post. Mostly my wife is the one that does the social media stuff. Facebook, Instagram, maybe TikTok. I'm not sure if we're still doing that, but follow us, because we do post a lot, and then you'll know when things are available to purchase. And you can see our whole story on there.
Yeah, thank you for watching us.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening to us till the end. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, like, comment, and share a lot. And all the Himalayan Farmhouse social medias links are on the description. You can go check it out, everything on there. And also, Resma Didi, we miss you a lot here. Thank you so much again for watching till the end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys did really good.